live in Ghaziabad city, UP. I did my schooling from Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad. And I did my civil engineering from JSS Academy of Technical Education, Noida. There are 4 members in my family: my father, mother, and my sister, including me. My father works for Development Authority. My mother is a housemaker, and sister is an architect. So during my school days, along with studies, I was interested in badminton, football, and dance as well. I have been keenly interested in mathematics and social sciences. During school, I developed a fascination towards civil infrastructure and development. So I wanted to pursue engineering, or particularly civil engineering. So after my higher secondary, I took sciences and gave engineering entrance examination. Then took admission in JSS Academy of Technical Education. In college too, I took various positions of responsibility along with participation in college fest, Robotech, RoboWar competition, and sports, etc. I got an opportunity to do internship at Delhi Meerut Expressway, which is up to become India's widest expressway. Here I got an opportunity to learn various software such as ArcGIS, AutoCAD, SAD, and Revit software. Also, I got an opportunity to visit Tehri Dam, and I was able to learn the control and working of the dam from the inside, from the control room. Sir, that's it.
Okay, so let's start with the question of what is governance? What do you think? What is governance?
Sir, governance mainly considered 2 or 3 main points. First of all, governance starts, as I said, the governance starts from a city level, from the bottom level. It needs to be more decentralized. The government includes 3 levels. First is empowerment. The governing body should be more empowered to provide resources.
No, I was just asking, what is governance?
Sir, governance is basically that's what I was telling, the 3 basic: empowerment and resource accountability, so that people are. Sir, am I audible?
You are audible.
I can't hear you properly.
No, you keep telling you are audible to me if I am not. Please explain what is governance.
Just a second. 1 second, sir.
सर एक चीज बोलूं,
Battery. Just a second.
आप सडनली काफी इंटिमिडेटिंग से लग रहे हो इंटरव्यू लेते हुए.
क्या चीज? अरे वो
इंटिमिडेटिंग से लग रहे हो आप इंटरव्यू लेते.
मैं वो सीरियसनेस लाना चाहता हूँ ना, एज लाइक वो टेस्ट वाला.
सर ऐसे तो डर लग रहा है थोड़ा देख के.
डर लग रहा है का मतलब क्या होता है? इंटरव्यू दो अच्छे से,
तो ऐसे नर्वस हो जाते हैं ना.
Just think like वो मतलब formal interview that is there. कहाँ गया ये?
सर 1 सेकंड. बैटरी.
चलो मतलब इस बीच में तुम्हें एक फीडबैक दे दूं. एक तो मतलब किसी भी वर्ड को डिफाइन करते वक्त why to tell basically, है ना? Government is just basically, मतलब what do you mean by this, है ना? आप उसको डिफाइन करो. बेसिकली बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है. और
बेसिक से डिफाइन कर रहा था ना.
बेसिक से कहाँ डिफाइन कर रहे थे तुम? उसमें डेवलपमेंट ले आए, पीपल डेवलपमेंट ले आए, गवर्नमेंट ले आए.
सर गवर्नेंस इज.
चलो मैं ये क्वेश्चन तो पहले कवर कर दूं. गवर्नेंस इज basically a noun. It's how government is working. It's not government is working. How the resource, how the people, how anything is being managed is called governance. है ना? तो basically we use in the term of democracy or nations or state government में हम governance की use करते हैं. But still there is other areas. जैसे तुम city बोल रहे थे, ऐसे corporate governance भी होता है. तो we also manage. हाँ, तो it's more of management. And when we do it for an entire institution
city
or
or
city or
yes,
हाँ तो ऐसे तुम बोलो.
this governance.
Okay, anyway. So can you define what is the difference between rural and urban governance practices?
Sir, basically, any urban sector develops when there is a concentration of industries or many industries come up, more labor moves in that area, more agglomeration forms in. And in a rural society, there is no such agglomeration of industry. There could be an agriculture system or a small scale industry that might take place at a basic level. Also, the system of facilities which are provided in cities area is much different from rural area. These are basic. Also, there's a difference in governance systems. The accountability and the resources are more in the urban area than in a rural area.
So just tell me one thing. Should we focus more on cities or urban area or the villages or rural area?
So urban area, of course. Sir, when an
Why?
urban area
But our
then
70% of population
industries,
still live in rural areas. So why should we
sir,
focus more on urban areas?
that is true, sir. 50% of our population is still dependent on agriculture, and the output from agriculture industry is much lesser. So there is a need to develop urban agglomerate economy more, so that people are able to be in manufacturing sector, be in service sector, which are able to produce more GDP and more output of our country. And the second point, why urban areas are better than any rural area, they are able to provide more employment, I would say, and a better facilities, basic utility services such as water, electricity, roads, and at second level, the digitalization, the installation of of CCTV cameras, street lights, and
But
integrated command and
these
control
days,
center is better in
these
cities.
are being done in rural areas also, like installation of
Sir, yes,
CCTV.
that is done in rural areas. Basically, when basic facilities reach rural areas, they are slowly turning from rural organization to urban. The addition of rural and urban. So by Amrut, by smart cities, they are able to convert themselves from rural areas to urban, mix of rural and urban areas.
So what are the
So
basic
yes, they are
key
trying
feature
to.
of okay? Tell me what are the basic key features of smart cities? What is the difference I can get in a normal city and a smart city?
Sir, a smart city is developed at three pointers level. The first level of development of smart city is providing basic facilities like I said, water, road, electricity,
But normal cities
transportation,
should also
and
do this.
sir, that's why the normal cities and smart cities, the first level of development is same. That the
Hmm.
second and third level of development at smart cities is different than other basic cities.
Okay.
As moving forward to the second level, the digitalization, the integrated command and control centers, and a more better surveillance system is installed in smart cities, and a drinkable water is provided to each household in the second level of smart city. There are, I think, 99 smart cities have been sanctioned until now. The first list of smart cities included major cities like Jaipur and Udaipur. Until now, they have reached 90 to 95% of drinkable water to each household. So that's a very big difference. And moving forward to the third level of smart city, which is development of a particular area of a selected smart city. So if we divide a city into 10 big areas, select a particular area by the consent of the people, of the citizens of that area, and develop it fully with all the innovative measures like a different system of garbage collection, sewage water treatment. Uh, Basically, it becomes the most clean and green part of the city. So these are the three basic criteria of development of a smart city.
So what are the challenges that government is facing in developing smart cities? Because it's a project which started 6 years ago, and
Yes,
6 to 7 years ago, and we still
yes,
have
sir.
not
Yes, sir.
achieved our goals.
Still haven't reached there.
So,
Yes, sir.
so what are the challenges that government is facing or policy
Sir,
implementers are
there,
facing?
I think mainly 4 or 5 big challenges. First of all, would be slums and sprawls, the housing problems. Uh, there are, I think, PM Awas Yojana has been able to sanction up to 1 crore urban houses by now. The plan is to give 2 crore urban houses by year 2022 or 23. So, providing them houses at a much easier way. Also, government is giving 1 lakh grant per house by the central government, and I think 1.5 lakh grant per house is given by the state government. So the cost of that house, which is 5 lakhs, is given to people for 2 or 2.5 lakhs only. So that's a very good initiative for solving the problem of slums and sprawls in our cities. Second problem, I think, which is a very, very big problem in mostly bigger cities like Delhi and Mumbai, which is the high value of land. The land market, the value of land is way too much so that people can buy or even rent their own houses. So town pooling scheme has been started by government. So they collect, so there's a hang. So they collect land from various private landholders, develop it fully, and then provide areas to live for the uh, migrants and the population, expanding population of the city. Third problem, I think, in the urban sphere would be traffic congestion problem, I guess. So there need to be a better multimodal transport system. The metros, BRTS, tram, these are all solutions to that congestion problem. Also, a better infrastructure of roads, ring roads, bypass. These are constructed and need to be constructed at a better level. Also, people should try themselves to switch their mode of transport. Either by going by car, they should try to use metro, and even some cycling systems are also started in areas of Delhi. This
But these
The
are the
next
goals,
problem
I
is,
think.
I think, sir, pollution and disaster related problems. Sir, these are both congestion forces which are a kind of hindrance in the development, and
Okay.
the solutions which are given by government to solve
So
these
tell me
issues.
one thing, why this, some of the changes that we need to do in our smart city plan after this COVID-19 situation? Do you find any change should be there, or does it go with the plan they have already prepared?
Sir, of course, the pace of the smart city development would be affected due to this situation.
Of course, I'm not
We
talking about the pace. I'm talking about, will there be any change in the plan, even if they do it in a slower rate? Should they change some of their blueprint or some of their objectives while building a smart city, or should we go with the same plan that we have made in 2015 or something?
Sir, sir, I think the basic idea is to sustain people in a city in a clean, green, and less pollutant. People should be able to get to their work in a much easier way. So I think the third level of smart city, which doesn't include development of any road transportation, it doesn't include any infrastructure related. It just focuses on developing a particular part of the city that might be kept at hold for some time. But the basic two levels are very necessary: the basic utilities and the uh, digitalization method, digitalization system.
So you don't suggest any change in blueprint due to the COVID-19 situation?
In the smart city,
Yeah, in the smart city plan.
sir, I think more and more people are going to move towards current scenario is different, but in the coming times, more and more people are going to move towards urban economies in urban areas. If I speak on statistics, by 2050, there will be more than 800 to 900 million people living in cities. So they need to develop infrastructure, they need to develop affordable housing, they need to develop a better transportation
So
system.
you are not getting my question. I am just asking, will there
No,
should
no
be a
change.
change in blueprint or any
Sir,
suggestion,
it's the
any
speed
improvement the
of
current
development
plan?
might be kept at.
Hmm.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, no smart cities develop. No city in the world would claim that they have reached the level of a smart city. Smart city is always in a process. It is always in a process of
It's a
development. Of
dynamic
course,
process.
feedback from,
Hmm.
yes, sir. Feedback from urban local bodies, feedback from people is always taken while developing a city, developing infrastructure. But the basic module, the basic system of development should, I think, should stay the
So
same.
can you describe how a city is being governed in India? So what is the different mode of governance in Indian cities?
Different modes. Sir, the basic mode of governance is by urban local bodies, and there are various bodies such as authorities, municipal corporations, and state and central systems, which are part of the infrastructure development. Also, the mode of governance is by by the fact there are similar systems. We in our bigger cities we have corporation, in smaller cities we have municipal council, then we have nagar panchayats in our state, etc. So the funding, the accountability is different, but the basic mode of governance is same.
Okay. So can you find some flaws that we are having in terms of our city governance?
Yes, sir. There are three clause, I might think. According to the 74th Amendment, there was power and resources were given to the urban local bodies, but still state controls many of these resources. So they are still answerable. They are still very much in control of the state. So they don't get proper resources. They don't get enough collection of taxes. And the second is a lack of accountability. So mostly in our cities, the local elites win the election to the urban local bodies. So there is a lack of accountability. Also, there in any organization, there is a lack of technocrats. When a smart city is developing, when metros are developing, roads are developing, the basic uh, body of at a urban at a local level should include technocrats. There is a lack of technocrats, there is a lack of technical knowledge at the base level. And so third, I think, would be lack of human resources. There's a lack of staff, and by the 14th finance commission, a lack of grantinades were given, but still those grantinades is less than 1% of gdp. That's doesn't affect much of the resources at that level.
So can you little elaborate about the waterways that we are developing, which is like linking of rivers project?
Yes.
So will that change any of the urban uh, the urbanization process that is being done right now?
Yes,
What
sir.
kind of change it can provide, or what kind of new scenario will be developed if we link the rivers as per the
Yes,
government's
sir.
plan?
Sir, water is a very, very important and a very crucial resource for any urban or rural system. Uh, in We are developing interlinking projects, mostly in the six rivers, which are goes through in a Kashmir.
Mhm.
Mostly six rivers are included in interlinking project. The main aim is to provide water, equitable distribution of water of these rivers to the different parts of our country. There is also a Lakwar Dam that has been constructed at in Himachal Pradesh. So it is going to provide water to six states, including Rajasthan, Haryana, which are very, very uh, less water collecting states. So these initiatives are taken to for a much more equitable distribution of water. So because in few states like Assam, there is a there are rivers like Brahmaputra, there is a huge flow of water. And on the other hand, there are states like Rajasthan, which are not able to collect enough water. So to distribute that water equitably throughout the country, these interlinking projects are initiated.
Okay, so what kind of change it can create in terms of current distribution of population in rural and urban area?
Sorry, sir,
So,
distribution of.
the current distribution of rural and urban area population, distribution of population in rural and urban area, will there be any change by developing these projects like the
Points.
interlinking of rivers or the Bharatmala projects and the road which are being newly developed?
Sir, okay. Sir, the basic intention of government to develop these projects is to provide water at the remote level. People don't have to go out of their houses, and I don't think there would be a change. These projects are made according to urban or rural settlements. These are made to provide
Also,
water to
don't
the
you think
people. It
that
reaches
this
where they are.
will, but don't you think this will create the new places of industry, new places of urbanization, new places of creating planned cities? So if lot many of other places will be created, so the burden on Delhi, Mumbai, and other
Yes,
metro
sir.
cities will get reduced. So don't you
Yes, sir.
think that this
Sir,
will
actually,
happen?
sir, these plans are mostly the plans are there's a plans are made considering future developments. Sir, there is a Delhi Mumbai corridor which is in construction right now. So these river linking projects would be made in such a way that they are able to provide water, they are able to sustain people living along the length of that corridor. So of course, these linking projects are made keeping the future developments, thinking about the future growth of cities in mind. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think they've
So
already thought upon the where the urban cities would grow in the future, and in this way they are going to develop uh, water distribution systems.
okay. Can you tell me, matlab, what are the difference between and the Harappan urban management and the current modern city management?
Sir, in view of water or basic,
Basic any urban management.
sir, actually these small uh, Harappan organization or even in small villages these days, there was a self metabolism of resources. As they said, there were all kinds of services available, food, water, and all the villages were self-sufficient. In a similar way, like Harappan were also self-sufficient in themselves. They weren't uh, dependent on any other resource of water or uh, electricity for their use. Sir, but in the current scenario, cities are very much interconnected. Mostly for industrial, the raw material might be uh, placed 1,000 kilometers from where it is actually used to produce. So that I think is a very much big difference between these two types of settlements. They are not very self-sufficient as a city.
Can you tell me something about India-Nepal dispute these days, which is happening these
Sir,
days?
sir, actually, uh, okay. So the India-Nepal dispute is actually India was making a road till Kailash Mansarovar. The road was there, but they are making a properly constructed and well-to-use road. That area was claimed by India until now, and there is not much proof by Nepal that they claim that area. But during a treaty between Nepal and the by then government of India, the British government of India. They claim that that area belongs to them. So there is a dispute between that piece of land and that road should or should not pass through that area. So that's a basic dispute. India is claiming that the land belongs to them, and Nepal claims that
So what do you think?
it belongs to them. Sir, obviously I support India.
You will support
I
India.
think, sir, because
Even
Nepal, it's not because I belong here. Nepal don't have that much proof or that area belongs to them. Of course, if they come with them, that's another issue.
can you name the treaty by which this uh, the British government and
Sorry,
Nepal has? Okay.
sorry, sir, I can't recall that now.
Okay. Now tell me something about India-China dispute.
Sir, the the border dispute between India and China goes way back. It's a very long time dispute. During the 1962 war, they were able to take our very big area, which is Exaichen, in which comes in the Jammu Kashmir part. So they are trying to claim more and more land on the Indian side, both from Jammu and Kashmir in Arunachal Pradesh, also few parts of Sikkim in Bagdogra. Also, we depend hugely on China for our resources. There is a, I think,
So tell me one last thing.
$57 billion of.
Last thing, Devyans. If
Yes.
we reject to buy Chinese things, if we'll stop we'll stop consuming the Chinese product, will this affect China? And if it affect, how much
Yes,
it
sir.
can affect the industry, Chinese
Sir,
industry or government
actually,
level?
yes, sir. So actually, we depend on China more than China depends on us. Uh, as I said, there is a huge deficit. They buy $18 billion of goods from India, and we buy 75 billion dollars of goods from China. So there is a $57 billion of trade deficits. That's a huge
Matlab we
deficit.
are buying more.
So we are
We are,
buying more because we are not able to produce that high quality products in our country at such a cheap price. That's why we are buying from them. We don't have such innovative ideas. That is basically due to a lack of education system in a country. China is able to develop that infrastructure because they focus more on innovation. They focus more on entrepreneurship. That's why they are able to come up with such good quality products at a very low price. Indian they have acquired, I think, 50% of Indian mobile markets, and even the Indian mobile companies like Micromax and Lava, their basic parts come from China. So basically, we are, even if we are buying Indian products, they are at a little bit level manufactured in China only. So we
so
depend a
so
huge
so
level on them.
you
Yes,
think there is no way to be independent in terms of?
yes, sir. No, sir. There is a way. Right now we can't just stop using their products. We depend heavily on them, but as our prime minister said, try to use more local things, try to use more made in country, made in India products. We will be able to reduce this trade deficit.
So what do you think? Why we are not able to be innovate, or we are able to produce good quality product in India itself?
Sir, because our education system do not focus on creating more entrepreneurs. They teach students more to get a job than by making them able to give a job. So
So is this
entrepreneurship,
the only reason?
so that's one of a big reason.
Okay. And what are the next
One of the
reasons?
big reasons. So
Other
other reason
reason?
could be other reasons could be lack of trust of people. Sir, even if we see two similar products, one made in India, one made in big companies making them, we try to prefer uh, the product which is not made in a country. So that is also a reason. Other reason is So these two are big reasons. That's what I think.
So
Nothing
what
else.
was your routine in this lockdown period? What do you used to do in this lockdown period?
Sir, sir, it has changed during the lockdown. Since from the start, in the starting, I used to stay at home during the first lockdown, and I go out in the morning for a walk, or I've also started playing with my friends outside right now, and after that I might watch a movie, might read a book,
So
and
did you learn anything new in this lockdown?
yes, sir, I read this book, History of Modern India, during
But you
this
didn't
lockdown
learn
only.
that, no? That you read that book.
No, sir, actually, my intention to read that book was I wanted to know how we reached here, the, the current social status, the current system of India, how it developed throughout the times. That book gives us a insight from last 400 years, straight from the Marathas time, how our cities developed, how our cultural values developed. So that's why I think
So
I
whose
was
whose
able
book
to.
was this? Who was the writer?
Bipin Chandra, sir.
Okay. So do you know anything
Famous
about
one.
Bipin Chandra? Who is Bipin Chandra?
About the author? No, sir.
About the author? Yeah.
No, sir.
You didn't read about the author.
Not much. No, sir.
So how can you trust if anybody can write a book on this and he can be propagandist
About
or
the authenticity of the
author?
okay,
So don't
sir.
you
Of
think that you
course,
should go for the author's identification and knowing about the author before reading a book?
sir. I think mostly the feedback given by friends is better than
So,
knowing about the author. So my friends recommended me to read it. That's probably why I did.
okay. So thank you. Hmm.
That's it, sir.
अच्छा था दिव्यांश थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम जैसे अभी लास्ट क्वेश्चन से स्टार्ट करते हैं तुमने
Okay.
बोला कि तुम्हें तुरंत बोलना चाहिए था कि नहीं दिस शुड हैव बीन डन है ना
About what, sir?
कि ऑथर्स के बारे में हम पहले पढ़ लें ठीक है
क्यों, सर?
नहीं ये एक जेनरिक वो है सजेशन होता है कि कोई भी जेनरिक बुक तुम पढ़ रहे हो अबाउट हिस्ट्री
Okay.
अबाउट कुछ भी तो आपको ऑथर्स के बारे में
Hmm.
पढ़ना चाहिए है ना इससे दो फायदा होता है एक तो आप कनेक्ट भी ज्यादा कर पाते हो ठीक है दूसरा
Hmm.
आपको शुरू में ही ऑथेंटिसिटी का पता होता है ठीक है
Yes,
थोड़ा
sir.
और ये बोलना कि वो फ्रेंड्स से पूछना इज बेटर देन नोइंग अबाउट ऑथर ये एक गलत स्टेटमेंट है मतलब
नहीं सर, बट इस केस में मुझे पता था इट्स अ मतलब काफी पॉपुलर
हाँ
बुक है
ठीक है तो तुम ये बोल देते
और
ना कि इट वाज अ
बहुत
पॉपुलर
टाइम
बुक
से पढ़नी थी मुझे, इसलिए।
हाँ तो तुम ये बोल देते कि
सर
इट वाज
बुक
अ पॉपुलर बुक लॉट मेनी पीपल रेड एंड ट्रस्टेड दिस बुक और रिव्यू बहुत अच्छा था तो आई डिड नॉट बॉदर टू नो अबाउट द ऑथर मोर ये बोलना कि ऑथर को जानना जरूरी नहीं है ये नहीं सही है ना फॉर एवरी बुक है ना आप कोई
सर
भी
आपने
नई किताब कोई नहीं
आपने
इसमें
पूछा
लिख
था ना लॉकडाउन में क्या किया, इसलिए।
हाँ कोई बात नहीं और
बाकी
फिर
तो मूवीज ही देखी
रेस्ट
है।
ऑफ द आंसर्स वेयर गुड कहीं कहीं पे तुम भी वो हो जाते हो मतलब पूछा कुछ और गया
अटक
बताने
रहा
कुछ
था।
और लगते हो नहीं अटकने का कोई दिक्कत नहीं होता अटकना इज नॉट एन इशू बीच में थोड़ा रुकना या थोड़ा सोचना इज नेवर एन इशू आपको बस बेसिकली क्या करना है बस ध्यान देना है कि हम वो चीजें बताएं जो पूछा गया है ठीक है तो इस तरीके से बाकी बहुत हद तक तुम्हारा हर चीज ठीक था थोड़ा सा कहाँ क्या बताऊं मैं कहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम थी प्रॉब्लम नहीं था मुझे लगता है कि वो चीज तुम्हें ऐड करना चाहिए जैसे कोरोना वाला पूछा मैंने कि आफ्टर कोरोना यू वुड लाइक टू चेंज
कोरोना नहीं
समथिंग
पूछा सर आप।
कोविड
अच्छा,
19 बोला था ना
स्मार्ट सिटीज में। यस सर।
हाँ तो थोड़ा सा तुमको उसमें बोल देते कि अब जो एयरपोर्ट है या सिटी मेट्रो स्टेशन है उसमें थोड़ा सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग वाले प्रोविजंस को भी इंक्लूड किया जा सकता है और करना चाहिए
सर सर आपने
मतलब
मैंने मतलब ऐसे क्वेश्चन लिया था कि स्मार्ट सिटी के डेवलपमेंट प्लान्स में कुछ चेंज होगा।
हाँ तो डेवलपमेंट प्लान में ही तो चेंज होगा ना भाई जब तुम डेवलपमेंट प्लान में तुम
बट सर सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग इज नॉट अ चेंज इन
नहीं इट्स नॉट अ चेंज ऑफ कोर्स इट्स नॉट चेंज जैसे जैसे
सैनिटाइजेशन एंड
मतलब आप फिजिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो डेवलप करते हो ना शहर का
Yes, sir.
फिजिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करते हो, ऑफिसेज डेवलप करते हो, पब्लिक यूटिलिटी के प्लेसेस डेवलप करते हो, पार्क बनाते हो, है ना, मेट्रोज क्रिएट करते हो, मेट्रो के कोच बनाते हो, तो हर जगह पे देयर इज ए स्कोप ऑफ पुटिंग दिस प्रोविजन ऑफ कि कभी जरूरत पड़े तो हम फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग को एडेयर कर सके, है ना। तो ये बता
In the
सकते हो
future,
कि
yes, yes.
हाँ, तो अभी से स्टार्ट करेंगे तो अभी अभी आने वाले टाइम में जो चेंज लाना नहीं ला सकते, ठीक है, rather
And
than
sir,
saying कि
अब
बोलो बोलो।
और सर जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है हेल्थ का, उसे ज्यादा प्रमोट करे स्मार्ट सिटी में, जो जिससे जो
हाँ,
इस टाइम जो
ये भी
लैक ऑफ
बोल
बेड्स
सकते
की
हो।
प्रॉब्लम आ रही है वो ना।
हाँ
हाँ हाँ,
हाँ, तो
यस
ये
सर,
भी
ये
बोल
पॉइंट
सकते
है, ये
थे,
पॉइंट
तो
अच्छा
तुम्हें
है।
मतलब कुछ ना कुछ तो डाल ही देना चाहिए, rather than saying कि
यस सर।
कोई जरूरत नहीं है चेंज करने का।
नहीं
हाँ
सर, मैंने कहा था थोड़ा पेस कम कर सकते हैं
हाँ, तो पेस
डेवलपमेंट का।
कम कर सकना इज
और
नॉट अ चेंज करना ना, पेस कम करना इज लाइक
नहीं सर,
वो तो
पेस
हो ही
को हम
जाएगा,
स्मार्ट सिटी,
वो तो हो ही जाएगा।
आई
अच्छा
आई
हाँ,
ट्राई टू से दैट वी
एक
शुड
जगह
चेंज आवर फोकस।
हाँ, एक जगह और था जब मैं तुमसे बोला कि रूरल एरिया पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना है कि अर्बन एरिया पे ध्यान देना चाहिए, तुमको केवल बायस नहीं होना चाहिए था ऑन अर्बन एरिया। यू कुड हैव सेड कि हमें
सर
दोनों ही एरिया इम्पोर्टेंट है, दोनों ही रीजन्स नेशन के लिए, नेशन की इकोनॉमी के लिए, ओवरऑल सोशल डेवलपमेंट के लिए या ओवरऑल इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट के लिए दोनों ही एरिया इम्पोर्टेंट है, एंड
सर
both can be managed differently, so there is no
सर
point of prioritizing any। हाँ, आप बोलो।
सर रूरल एरियाज के अपना इम्पोर्टेंस है, अर्बन का अपना है,
यही
लेकिन जो
यही बोल देना
अमाउंट ऑफ
था।
पॉपुलेशन, सर अमाउंट ऑफ पॉपुलेशन रूरल एरियाज में डिपेंडेंट है, जो एग्रीकल्चर से रिलेटेड है, इतनी पॉपुलेशन की जरूरत नहीं है रूरल एरियाज में। दे शुड मूव अप एंड डेवलप बेटर सोर्सेज ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट, आई गेस। दे आर वेस्टिंग देयर एनर्जी इन रूरल एरियाज इम्पोर्टेंट है, बट वहाँ बेटर कल्टीवेशन सिस्टम जिससे इतने ज्यादा लोगों की वहाँ जरूरत ही ना पड़े, बिकॉज
नहीं,
सर फ्यूचर में विद
वो तो
इंक्रीजिंग
ठीक है,
पॉपुलेशन अर्बन एग्लोमेरेट इकोनॉमी
तो
नीड्स टू
इसमें तुम ये
प्रोसीड।
भी तो बोल सकते थे ना कि हम रूरल एरिया को बहुत हद तक अर्बनाइज कर सकते हैं
यस सर,
बाय
दैट्स व्हाई आई
पुटिंग
डिड
द
द पॉइंट
बेस।
ऑफ
हाँ, तो
अर्बनाइजेशन।
हाँ, तो ये नहीं समझ में आया ना, ये तुम नई क्लैरिटी था,
अच्छा,
क्योंकि वो
ओके।
पूरा बायस्ड लगने लगा कि यू आर सोनली फोकस्ड ओवर अर्बन एरिया, कि यही खाना खिला रहे हैं, यही इकोनॉमी दे रहे हैं, यही एम्प्लॉयमेंट दे रहे हैं, तो लात मारो उनको। ऐसा नहीं करना
नहीं
चाहिए था,
नहीं
तुम
नहीं
ये बोल सकते।
सर।
और दूसरा क्या है कि अगर तुम एक पर्टिकुलर सिटी पे या कंसंट्रेट कर दोगे लोगों को, तो वो भी कितना बर्डन एक्सेप्ट करेगा, मतलब दिल्ली एज अ सिटी, हाउ मच पीपल कैन स्टे इन दिल्ली, देयर
नहीं
इज अ
सर,
लिमिट।
दैट्स
तो
व्हाई दिल्ली हैज increased boundaries to Delhi NCR.
हाँ,
अब
वो तो ठीक है, that's okay,
people don't
but
only live in Delhi now.
still why the NCR regions would have all the economic activity of entire India, so there should be मतलब other regions need to be developed।
Urban
हाँ,
centers should
तो
come up. Yes sir,
हाँ,
that
अदर
is
तो
true.
इसीलिए मैंने वो भी पॉइंट डाला तुम्हें कि जो वाटर वो बन रहा है, वेज बन रहा है, या फिर कॉरिडोर्स बन रहे हैं, तो दे कैन हेल्प इन डिस्पर्सिंग द इकोनॉमिक सेंटर और ये
Changing the
हाँ
points, yes.
हाँ,